awesome. But let's get started with the opening match, man. We got to see a match between Hobbs and Orange Cassidy, and this is a pretty one-sided affair until the very end, and we'll get to the end in a little bit because I think it's worth talking about. But what do you think of this match as a whole? I really enjoyed the offense we got to see from Powerhouse early on.
Powerhouse is growing so much in the ring, and I mean, anytime we see him, we are more and more impressed with what he's doing in the ring.
Yeah,
I mean, this swagger that he's got. I like how they played up to that history they had, where Hobbs got knocked out by the orange
12
punch,
seconds.
right away in the 12 seconds, and now he started off strong. We saw some new moves. We saw the torture rack from Big Man Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yep.
He lived up to his name in every form tonight, being the Powerhouse. He was carrying Orange Cassidy both literally and figuratively in this match and in this ring. It was very impressive, dominant performance by Hobbs. And the way it ended was a little bit head scratching, in my opinion, because Hobbs, before this tournament was announced, he was my sleeper pick to be in the tournament and win the tournament. And so this was before we got any contestants, and he was the only, I thought that would be an awesome way to give a young guy in a nice rub, and a match, Hobbs versus Hangman, which we think Hangman's going to win, would be a pretty compelling one. But that torture rack was awesome. I hope Hobbs continues to use that in his arsenal. And I loved how he kicked things off with one of the best spine busters in the biz, man. I mean, he right away, he gave us that spine buster. He didn't make us wait for it, and he delivered it to perfection for sure. But I just loved how he was working on OC's ribs. He was just dominating.
The whole match.
I've said it before, and I always say it in his matches. His pacing has really, really, really improved, and I like his methodical pacing of his matches. And it's a good big man trait to have that not many big men have, of like a pacing where you always want to watch. Sometimes big men will just like throw you around, ragdoll you, and you're like, all right, let's get to it. But Hobbs will throw in these like awesome moves. But I really enjoyed him in this match.
Yeah, me too. It was disappointing in the end. We got to see the mousetrap roll up Hobbs and kind of end on a sour note, really. It kind of ruined the match for me in a lot of ways, seeing that ending. It was just kind of a lame cop out. Hobbs, so for anybody that hasn't watched it, Hobbs got in an argument with the referee, and it looked like he was about to get disqualified from the match. And then Orange Cassidy comes up behind him and basically gets him in a mousetrap and ends that way. It was just kind of lame. It felt a little overdone, a little played out. It was like, oh man, he's arguing with the ref. What's going to happen? How's he going to lose momentum here? And it was just like, it was disappointing, especially because Orange really didn't do much in this match.
He didn't.
This was 99.9% Powerhouse Hobbs, and the only real offense Cassidy got in was when he was pinning Powerhouse. So it was just, he won. He won the match, but really going into the tournament, he's got to feel pretty bad about how he performed in the first round.
Especially with those bruised ribs, like whether he's going to be facing 10, who he interviewed, or Moxley. I feel like that's definitely going to be another one-sided match that he's up against. But man, I've been vocal about it before. And, we push the positivity here at Dynamite Download, which we have with Hobbs, which we see just the sky's the limit with this guy. And what he's doing is incredible stuff. But I am never a fan of a roll-up win. I am not a fan of any kind of roll-up finish. No. We saw Darby steal the title from Cody with a roll-up finish. We've seen OC do this roll-up finish before. I get it. It's a bigger, a smaller guy and a bigger guy, kind of a surprise ending. And even at the main event, we saw Pac roll up Andrade, which was kind of a surprise, but because of the battle that they were doing, he stole that one. But a move called the mousetrap, to me, just sounds so weak and lame. And it just, that finish was a rough one uphill to swallow, because we love Hobbs and he dominated that. And for him to go down and being the Powerhouse for a mousetrap to put you down, it was a little strange. And I mean,
it was weak.
I know a lot of people are feeling the same way. They weren't really pleased with this ending. Maybe not necessarily OC going over Hobbs, which is, convincing, but just the way it happened. Oh man,
just disqualify him.
right?
You know, he already had that built in right there. He picked up a referee, threw him in a corner. Like,
Right.
he could have
Usually when you
easily
touch a
disqualified
referee,
him. You
yeah,
can
I mean that
protect
would have
Hobbs
gave
that
him
way.
some big heat, and he could have gone on just like a warpath. You
Yep.
know, he'd be like, "You disqualified me. You cost me my chance." You know, his temper would have costed him, and I think that would have been a cool way to
A more
push,
interesting story.
and it would have protected him even a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
this was a lose lose, I think, for both guys out of it. I mean, obviously OC's not losing
Yeah.
because he's advancing in the
But he
tournament.
did get dominated the entire match, so
He did.
nobody comes out of this looking good.
It's a shame.
Unfortunately.
I
Not
mean,
a good start to the tournament, man. Not a really good start, but
I was
I
really hoping for Hobbs because I mean, like young guy, get him more spotlight, get him a
yeah.
push, and then if he goes toe to toe with Ten or Moxley, that would have been a hoss battle for sure, and it would have been a lot of fun. You know, if then Hobbs can go down to a Moxley or something like
Yeah.
that, and that's a convincing. I mean, that's an ex champ,
Do
so
do you think
give him that
that
opportunity.
this is lending to the Moxley heel turn stuff? Do you think that because there's smoke to that. It's interesting what's going on, and you know, if he does have this match with Moxley, do you think that this could lend to that, and that's why they booked it this way?
True, and your 10 is a baby face, and OC is
Right.
another baby face. And then you have, if he goes toe to toe in the finals with Danielson, that's, probably one of the biggest baby faces in the company. So
Yep.
ultimately, I mean, AEW hasn't been shy of booking babyface versus babyface, but there's got to be a boo and a cheer. I mean, that would be compelling. I mean, Moxley, I didn't even think about him really turning heel because he's so over with the fans and stuff. So,
But some of the
uh,
stuff he's doing is
right, I know
heelish.
heel
He's
tendencies for sure. I agree.
yeah.